This is 5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Every single thing that we have been saying over the years has come true.
Tonight, we've learned the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is testing underneath homes in North St. Louis County. The agency looking for contamination from radioactive waste left over from production of the first atomic bomb. Thanks for being here. I'm Kay Quinn. The new testing is part of a years-long fight to uncover radioactive contamination. This time, the Army Corps is testing an old creek buried under 6 North County homes. Those homes in question are in the Cades Cove subdivision. That's just north of Deschênes Park in Florissant. 5 on your side's Justina Coronel is live in Florissant now with new information. Justina, what can you tell us?
Okay, this morning when we arrived to the neighborhood, we saw contractors on site. They were sitting at a table in between 2 homes, and they said they're testing basements. While we're there, we also spoke to a neighbor right next door, and she said for the last few weeks, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been asking to test inside her basement. They want to drill holes at least 12 feet below the ground. She said the agency had already been testing in her backyard for the last 2 years and found contamination all the way up to the foundation of her home. She hasn't let the agency inside her home just yet because she wants to know what this means for her home and family if contamination is found. Now, the advocacy group Just Moms STL first heard about this in the last few days, and they're concerned about the lack of public information.
We do want them to know the dangers and the risks, and that there are people out there right now that care about them and that we're here for them.
Now, within the last 45 minutes, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers released a news release sharing their information and details of what's happening at Cades Cove. They said right now they're planning a community meeting. Reporting live, Justina Coronel, 5 on your side.
All right, thank you, Justina. Let's take a live look downtown. Breezy and warm this afternoon. Enjoy it while you can. There's a chance for rain throughout much of the rest of the week. Meteorologist Gary Franken for Scott Connell. He's here with the Weather First forecast.
Yeah, we started off very warm and a little bit muggy. First time in a while we've been able to say that. Clouds have been around and the wind still was gusting over 30 miles an hour as it continues to do so. Our visible satellite paints the picture a little bit better. Those clouds have increased from the south. We've had areas where there are breaks, but there are some fair weather clouds that have started to build. It is not all that bad outside right now. In fact, we've warmed up nicely. You look to the north, you see where these cloud tops are much higher and much brighter. That's where thunderstorm development along this front that's going to reach us is starting to occur. That's the best likelihood for severe weather later on tonight. I still think that we'll see a few storms that develop, but right now temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s, 76 degrees. We've got a consistent south breeze near 20 miles an hour, and it's a little humid outside. Those gusts in the mid 30s, at times close to 40 miles an hour, will start to die down as we start to see our rain chances increase. By 9 o'clock, a lot of us staying dry. I think this is midnight and overnight for a lot of us as we track this front, and that's what we'll highlight here shortly. We'll talk the development of that front and if storms are going to be severe into the overnight hours in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Gary. Now to a developing story out of St. Louis's Tower Grove South neighborhood. A group of teenagers trying to steal a car were involved in a shootout with an off-duty police officer. Right now, a 15-year-old is in custody. Police are still looking for the others. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay spoke with police and neighbors about the ongoing issue of teens and violence.
I heard about 3 shots in a row and then again another 3 shots and then just a car basically screeching down the street and then maybe 5 minutes later a bunch of sirens from cops.
That's what Jason Freeman woke up to Monday morning. The chaos happening just steps away from his front door.
I kind of jumped up out of bed and I was kind of wondering what was going on, especially because it sounded so close to me.
Those same terrifying sounds also woke up Adrian Dorr.
It was about 2 in the morning. We had the windows open and we woke up to the gunshots.
That's when police were called to Hartford Street near Alfred Avenue after an off-duty officer interrupted a group of juveniles who were trying to steal a car. As the juveniles ran from the scene, one fired shots towards the officer, and that's when the officer fired back.
Gun violence of any nature is horrific. So fortunately in this incident, nobody was injured.
While one teen was taken into custody, the rest got away. Police believe 6 juveniles total were involved in the gun battle, and the car the off-duty officer caught them trying to steal wasn't the suspect's only target.
One of the vehicles that they were in, that they were driving this morning, was recovered in the 1st district, and it was also a reported stolen vehicle.
Where this incident happened here in Tower Grove South is near a very popular bar district with places like Amsterdam Tavern and City Park Grill just blocks away from where we are right now. Neighbors told me this is a relatively quiet area, but at this rate, it's happening everywhere.
I feel like that's kind of a thing that's going on right now, unfortunately.
The fact that more and more kids are becoming more prone to do those types of things is just sad.
This unsettling trend of teens and guns is one many hope can be fixed.
Nothing necessarily bad needs to happen to them, but get them to some type of program that makes them better and gets them off of that path.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
Now, the off-duty officer involved in the incident has been with the department for 13 years. The department's Force Investigative Unit is handling this ongoing investigation. A man is dead after trying to wrestle a gun from a Quick Trip security guard. It happened at the Gravois station in South St. Louis. Police say the suspect shot at the security guard, hitting him in the leg. The security guard was able to get the gun back and shot the suspect in the head. The guard was taken to a hospital with serious injuries. The homicide division is investigating the incident. A Quick Trip spokesperson released a statement saying, "We are working closely with local law enforcement and will continue to assist with their ongoing investigation into the incident." The I-Team's Paula Vassan is looking into past crimes at the gas station. Look for her report on 5 on Your Side at 6. We have some new information now about a deadly shooting that happened early Sunday morning in North St. Louis. Police say the body of Brittany Ritchie was found on a sidewalk along Thomas Street. That's in the Jeff Vanderloo neighborhood. She'd been shot. Shortly after, Marissa Lewis was arrested and charged in connection with the murder. According to court documents, Ritchie and Lewis got into a fight before Lewis says she fired a shot in self-defense. Lewis is in custody with no bond allowed. Jury selection continues today in the trial of Daniel Riley. He's charged in the crash that severely injured Janae Edmondson in 2023. She was walking on a downtown street when she was hit by a car and lost both of her legs. Riley could face 7 years in prison if convicted of the assault charges. Opening statements are expected tomorrow. Janae and her dad plan to testify. 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers will be in the courtroom this week. Look for her reports on air on KSDK.com and on the 5 on Your Side app. The White House puts more pressure on Israel to stop the fighting in Gaza. The Biden administration also promising to send more aid to the region. The Supreme Court shakes things up ahead of Super Tuesday. What today's decision means for ballots across the country.